Hello and welcome, viewers, to another fantastic episode of Sage's Light Bulbs, where today we will be looking at the local Dollar Tree's latest offering for standard A19 shaped bulbs. So immediately on the front of the packaging here, you can see they say lots of things. Soft white, LED, shatter resistant, voltages and wattages, lighting facts, but not the brand. In fact, nowhere on here does it say a brand. The only place that says anything about a company, down there at the bottom, where it says, well, let's see, Greenbrier International, and they do have an address on there, but that doesn't really tell us that much. On the front of the package here, the shatter resistant is a joke, because that just means it's made of plastic, not glass. 120 volts, that's standard. 60 watt replacement, only 9 watts. That seems real. Non-dimmable. They're very adamant about that. 800 lumens, A19, medium base. $1.08 per year. They claim it could last up to 25,000 hours, which I highly doubt. Now on this side, we have an ampudel. Wait a second. Ampudel. Well, that's just Spanish. They were too cheap. This box is so flimsy, it's coming apart in my hands here. They were too cheap to print a second box for the Spanish customers. But frankly, for $1.25, that's actually a pretty good price. On the back here, we have lighting facts in English and Spanish. They tell us 800 lumens, which is on par with the 60 watt bulb, as well as the 2700 Kelvin temperature, which is good in my book. Now, out here, we have our traditional kind of, I think these are called a snow cone shape. It is a normal size, and it says Yamao. Okay, 9 watts, 800 lumens, 2700K, made in China. The only thing especially remarkable about this lamp is that it weighs, nothing. It's laughably light. So I hate to think what kind of heatsink they're using in there, if any. So I suspect the LEDs are what you could describe as roasting. Next up we have the 75 watt flavor. Everything is exactly the same, except for the lumens of 110. Well, 1100 I guess. Which is, again, pretty on par with the 75 watt bulb. Again, very cheap box. The bulb itself, let's see here. It's a drop different. You can see that the snow cone, the diffuser, is a little higher up on the bulb. I guess maybe there's a little more of a heatsink in there, but again, these things, they weigh the same. They are laughably light. And how can they weigh the same if this one produces more light? That tells me that the heatsink is severely lacking. Finally, we have the 100 watt specimen. Again, also, everything is the same. We have the same... Oh, actually, no. I think the diffuser, 100 watts on the right, I think it's even slightly higher yet, still, on this one. Yes, it is. So, again, maybe a drop more heatsink, but they weigh the same, which I just don't think is a good sign. Okay, so let's try some of these guys out. First, we're going to start with the 60 watt, which looks like this. Actually, no, that's not quite right. Ooh, that's a safety hazard there. That's plugged in. You could stick your finger right in there and get a nasty shock. So maybe that's why they don't make these anymore. Okay, so there is 60 watts. Now, I think that is 100% equivalent with a 60 watt bulb. And I also think that the directional nature of the snow cone LEDs is not quite as bad with this because of the diffuser. If you look here, you can see that the plastic part that's transparent goes outward beyond the part that isn't. And so that means that a little bit of light is going to travel down. It's still not nearly as good as an incandescent, but not the worst design either, and it's quite pleasant other than that. So I am going to let it warm up here to see how hot it gets. Okay, viewers, I have allowed this guy to warm up some, and it is warm, but not hot. So I'd say this one, I worry definitely about the longevity because of the obvious lack of a heatsink. But the actual bulb, like the light, is great. So for $1.25, assuming it lasts more than like a day, I say we're good. But it definitely is not going to achieve 25,000 hours. Alright, 75 watt specimen here. Again, obviously 75 watts. It is incredibly bright. Again, I mean, that's a good light bulb right there. So let's let it warm up. Okay, viewers, we've let this guy warm up a little bit. It is uncomfortably hot. Not unbearable, though. And the heat is actually quite well distributed, despite being so light. But again, those are not happy LEDs. They're too hot. Okay, finally the 100-watt unit here. And it is very bright. Let's let it warm up now. Okay, friends, we're back. Light bulb feeler is coming in. And in fact, it is, I mean, it's real hot. If I let this keep going, it'd get hotter. My conclusion with these bulbs, I mean, it's just too hot. That's all there is to it. The actual light, I mean, it's great. Bright color. Oh, and watch that one more time there. Watch the cool down on these LEDs. Ooh, let's do that again. Well, where is it? Oh, yeah. So, let's turn our light back on. So, to conclude, viewers, oh, that's the Ampudel side. Here we go. $1.25 for a 100-watt LED in 2022 is a good price. The light is good, the color is good, there's no humming or flickering. However, the bulbs are obviously very cheap, and I mean, what the heck is a Yamao, or whatever they were called? So I would actually recommend grabbing some if your dollar store has them. I think it was a Dollar Tree, technically. But I have serious doubts as to their longevity. With that, I say thank you for watching and have a good evening.